People with borderline and narcissistic personality disorders need constant attention and validation. They struggle to regulate their moods and emotions and have unpredictable behaviors. However, people with BPD are emotionally oversensitive, while people with NPD have a lack of emotional empathy. While overt narcissists display grandiosity, the covert narcissist more reflects the behaviors of a person with BPD. Hello wonderful person and welcome to Narcissistic Abuse Healing. I'm Anton and I create videos about narcissistic abuse to help you understand what was done to you and help you heal from it. Please help this channel grow by subscribing. If you find this video informative or helpful in any way, please let me and YouTube know by liking and sharing it. Feel free to share your experience in the comment section as well as topics you would like me to cover. Both BPD and NPD fall under Cluster B in the Diagnostics and Statistics Manual of Mental Disorders version 5. These disorders are categorized with problems regulating emotions and are seen as dramatic or erratic. Diagnosis can be challenging as many symptoms of both personality disorders do overlap with each other and other disorders. BPD also co-occur with many other disorders that can make it hard to diagnose. Due to the overlapping symptoms, BPD and NPD are often mistaken for each other. The disorders also co-occur about 25% of the time. See a video I did on 10 things you should know about people with borderline personality disorder. Important note, it is often difficult to diagnose mental disorders as diagnosis depends on the interpretation of the symptoms the clinician sees and then tries to make a best fit case. The clinician may not have enough time or the person may not display symptoms at that time for various reasons. Thus, misdiagnoses are common. The symptoms listed in this video are general symptoms and are not an all-inclusive list. There are differences in people and co-occurring disorders can drastically change a person's behavior. Co-occurring disorders can also cause a person to display or not display symptoms. The symptoms and actions listed are not meant to diagnose or judge anyone. They are listed to help you understand yourself or your partner more. Similarities between BPD and NPD. Both suffer from underlying issues of insecurity. Borderlines fear not being lovable that results in them fearing abandonment. Narcissists fear being worthless that also leads them to fear being abandoned. This fear is so overwhelming that it distorts their worldview and perception of themselves and other people. Both suffer from patterns of unstable or destructive relationships to the point that they may decide to isolate themselves. The fear of abandonment can make the person with BPD react in ways that they drive their partner away, where the person with NPD may decide to rather leave their partner than risk the ego injury of being abandoned. Both use manipulation tactics such as fear and guilt. Borderlines more often use guilt to make you feel as if they cannot live without you. Self-harming can also be used as both a way to get attention in a desperate plea for help or as a manipulation tactic. Narcissists more often use fear to control you. This often causes them to be aloof and give the impression that they do not need you, but that you need them, where borderlines more often come off as clingy. Narcissists more often make you fear what they will do to you than themselves, or that they will leave you. Both project their internal discomfort onto others through anger, projection, or passive-aggressive ways, such as brooding and silent treatments. Both can struggle to regulate their emotions or hold down a job. However, borderlines often struggle more with their emotions and tend to suffer from depression more. Normally, only covert narcissists struggle with depression unless a grandiose narcissist encounters a massive setback. Both can struggle with anxiety, bipolar, substance use disorders, eating disorders, and PTSD. Both need professional help, but the narcissist normally only seeks help when in crisis or forced to. Borderlines do more often seek help because they know something is wrong. Narcissists more think there is nothing wrong with them and that they are so special and unique that no one can help them. Narcissists are far more treatment resistant because they do not want to change. Both have emotional instability and can switch moods and emotions in a split second for seemingly illogical reasons. This may cause people around them to feel as if they are walking on eggshells to avoid a confrontation. However, the borderline does not normally mean to hurt others and often feels guilt and remorse afterward for their actions. The narcissist, on the other hand, either wants to hurt you or just don't care they do. Thus, afterward, they either dismiss hurting you or blame you for their actions. Often, they will justify their actions by stating that you deserved it by hurting or abusing them. Both have impaired insight and struggle to analyze their own beliefs, thoughts, actions, as well as link cause and effect. They often find it difficult to accept that they are responsible for their situations, especially if the cause of their situation is a decision they took a while back or one they believe was perfect. This can cause both to fail to see consequences of actions and make it hard for them to learn. Thus, they may do the same thing over and over. Both fear change and losing control over the people around them. They would rather continue a harmful action where they know the outcome than change their behavior and not know the outcome, even if the change can greatly benefit them. This is because they fear what the ripple effect will be in their life of only making a small change. Both often do not change much in life unless forced to. This is especially so for a narcissist who would rather have 1/10 of a rotten apple than hope for a full cart of fresh apples only to end up with nothing. Both see the world through a distorted filter and often respond incorrectly to situations and misunderstand or interpret other people's actions and words. They often see insult where none was meant. Both cycle through stages of idealization and devaluing you. Both mostly do not take responsibility for their actions. The grandiose narcissist will more often blame you directly. The covert narcissist will blame you and the world indirectly for them being broken. The borderline will often claim they cannot help their actions because they are broken and then blame the world for being broken. However, if they have narcissistic tendencies, they may also blame you for their actions. Differences between BPD and NPD. Narcissists don't value the needs, feelings, or ideas of other people as important unless it is in some way beneficial to the narcissist, while borderline people often are over-responsive to other people's concerns and needs. However, borderlines may become resentful if they feel the other person does not return their love. They may then display anger towards a person for using them, or fear that the person is not returning their love because they are going to abandon the borderline. A narcissist wants to be worshipped, while a borderline is more than happy to serve someone else, especially someone with a strong sense of self, as getting attention from a seemingly self-confident person validates their own self-worth of a borderline. Narcissists have a strong sense of who they are and their beliefs, values, and sense of self stay mostly stable. Borderlines struggle with their identity and often take on the identity and beliefs as well as values of others. They may constantly change their hair color, outfit, or even career. They may also constantly change their goals depending on who they are with and how they feel in the moment. Narcissists wants to change others to be like the narcissist, while borderlines more often want to change themselves to fit in. This causes narcissists to believe they are deserving to be at the top and deserve special treatment. Borderlines more often have a sense of brokenness to them. Borderlines tend to have self-harming tendencies such as cutting and burning themselves or headbanging. Narcissists often think too much of themselves to harm themselves unless they can use it to manipulate people to get what they want. Borderlines often try to commit suicide in the moment where emotions overwhelm them, or as a desperate plea for help. Narcissist suicides are less impulsive and more often plan their suicides and use more lethal means. Fearing you may leave them can trigger a borderline to attempt suicide. It can be a way to signal the pain they suffer, when normally a narcissist attempts suicide after a massive event such as a job loss, health crisis, or after a divorce. Thus, the suicide is often due to them seeing no way forward or unable to cope with a massive change. Due to using more violent and lethal means, narcissists are more successful in committing suicide. They also are more likely to kill their partner and kids before committing suicide. Narcissists also often use the threat of suicide more to manipulate people than borderlines. Borderlines have very intense emotions and do experience beauty, awe, guilt, and compassion. Narcissists have shallow affect and more often only experience anger, lust, greed, fear, and shame. Borderlines are more like an infantile but need constant attention, care, and love. They scream when they do not get their way. Narcissists are more like a mean-spirited and spoiled child who throws destructive tantrums when they don't get their way. Both, however, do have a sense of entitlement to them. Borderlines more feel entitled to loads of love, when narcissists more feel entitled to special treatment. If borderlines go for treatment, it is often to try to fix themselves. Narcissists more often go to treatment to find out why the world is mean to them and how they can fix the world. Borderlines are driven by fear of abandonment, where narcissists are driven by power, greed, and control over others, and at times sadistic pleasure by seeing other people suffer. Narcissists can be very vindictive and go out of their way to destroy other people's lives, even at the cost of their own life. During the love bombing phase, the borderline uses empathy to pull you in. They feel how you feel, and it can be an intense emotional experience. The narcissist lacks emotional empathy and use cognitive mirroring during the love bombing phase. They will like what you like and agree with your beliefs and viewpoints and dreams, but there will be few shared emotional moments. The borderline is often so sensitive to your emotions that they can pick up when you're upset, even if you try to hide it. It might feel as if they can read your mind and as if you can hide nothing from them. Borderlines sometimes suffer from hallucinations, while it is more uncommon for narcissists. Borderlines also tend to fantasize about loss and impending doom and sometimes being abused. Narcissists, on the other hand, have magical thinking and fantasize about unlimited power, money, and fame. They also more tend to think they have special abilities such as being immune to sickness or superior ideas and foolproof plans. Borderlines often think they are a constant victim and that they will be abused in every relationship. This view is also at times held by covert narcissists. However, narcissists more often think that the world revolves around them and that other people are there to serve the narcissist. Borderlines mostly think they are the problem, even if they project their frustration and anger onto others. Narcissists think other people are the problem. Grandiose narcissists are often very successful and can have a stable job. It is harder for borderlines to be successful and have a stable job. The covert narcissist, however, may actively sabotage their career to get attention, while the borderline struggles to cope emotionally, which may cause them to lose their job. Narcissists are far more manipulative than borderlines. Being removed from empathy, the narcissist often studies other people in a cold and calculated way with express intent to manipulate them. This is especially evident in the beginning when the narcissist is more focused on finding out every small detail of your life. They often mirror you and agree with everything. Later, however, you may be shocked that they suddenly hate food and music they claimed to love when you first met them. Borderlines are more willing to disagree with you on material likes, but will connect with you by sharing your emotions and may give you a shoulder to cry on. Borderline people can feel guilt and remorse. After an outburst, they will often apologize and promise not to do it again. Narcissists don't care that they hurt you and will often gaslight you by claiming you never had an argument or that it was not as bad as you make it out to be. They may also accuse you of starting the argument and that they are in fact the ones who was hurt and offended. Often you will hear them say, "Look at what you made me do." If blaming you for their actions does not work, the narcissist will often just flat out deny anything happened or overreact to scare you into giving up on trying to hold them accountable for their actions. You may be shocked that 10 minutes after a massive fight, they are all happy and ask you to go out with them or watch a movie together as if nothing happened while you are still trying to process the event. Borderlines are extremely concerned with being unlovable, while narcissists believe they are the most unique and special being on the planet and that they do you a favor by even allowing you to be in their presence. However, narcissists secretly fear they are worthless. Borderlines feel threatened by anything that compromises their relationship with others, while narcissists feel threatened by anything that compromises their self-esteem. Borderlines are clingy and dependent, while narcissists are more aloof and act as if they do not need you. The borderline needs to know they are loved and needed, while the narcissist needs to know they are special and unique. It is of utmost importance to a narcissist to always be the best, even if it means being the most broken person and beyond saving. They also need to be the ones in the spotlight, the grandiose for how wonderful and skillful they are, as well as their superior traits and accomplishments. The covert narcissist, on the other hand, for how they suffer and for what they have been through. This causes the narcissist to often insult and invalidate others to make themselves look better, or throw tantrums or self-sabotage their life to get attention back onto them. Narcissists need to feel in control of any relationship, while borderlines are perfectly happy to let their partner dictate things. This dynamic can set the situation that they attract each other. At first, the relationship may seem perfect, but when the devaluing and insecurity show, things will get chaotic. It can be a destructive relationship with manipulation and punishment ruling the relationship. Both cannot handle criticism, but the narcissist is more likely to respond with anger when being criticized. Even offering to help a narcissist is often seen as criticism that they need you. Vulnerable narcissists, on the other hand, want attention and welcomes people doing things for them. However, they don't actually want to have their situation fixed, as it takes their opportunity to get attention away. Treatment. Narcissists are very resistant to treatment, often think there is nothing wrong with them or that they are beyond help. Currently, there is no empirical supported treatments for NPD. Research on treating NPD is limited and tends to be unreliable and subject to bias. Some change is possible if a narcissist is willing, but it takes years of hard work to only make small changes. When antisocial or sadistic traits are present, the person is largely seen as untreatable. Borderline people can to a large extent make great progress with treatments such as CBT and DBT. However, when borderline co-occurs with narcissism, treatment becomes very difficult if not impossible. One study where borderline patients were followed for 6 years found that patients with co-occurring NPD remitted at a far lower rate than patients who only had borderline traits. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like and share it so that more people can benefit from it. If not subscribed, please subscribe now by clicking the seductive red button. As reward for subscribing, you will get more informative videos about narcissistic abuse. Please leave a comment as it helps to expand the information covered in the video, which may be of benefit to others. Also check out my books on narcissism by following the links in the description. Thank you.